Today we're going to be making a harissa stew with cheddar style dumplings. It's a North African inspired dish. It's very delicious, filling, and very easy to make. I'm sure any of you can make it. This is the delicious tomato harissa stew with cheddar style dumplings we're going to be making today. 100% vegan. Harissa originated in Tunisia, North Africa. Chilies were originally imported by the Spanish in the 16th century during the Spanish occupation, and then harissa, that spice blend, became developed and popularized. In this dish, we use a dry spice blend, but also the harissa paste is quite popular as well. This is our farm boy harissa, which is a spice blend of cayenne pepper, paprika, garlic, salt, caraway, coriander seeds, mint, and cumin. Now we're heading over to the kitchen to get cooking. Here I'm pouring in 1.5 cups of the chickpeas into a bowl. I wanted to point out that it's important that you wash your chickpeas and search for debris. From time to time with beans or legumes, you may find little stones or pieces of dirt as well. So it's important to give your chickpeas a wash and search for debris as well. In fact, when I was making ura dal once, I found with the ura dal, the black lentils, I found some pieces of rock in there. So it is important to take a look through, sift through, and wash them. And you can also consider it a way of being mindful in the kitchen. Some people may prefer to soak their beans, legumes overnight. With this method, I'm just doing a quick soak method. So what I'm doing after I've washed and searched for all the debris in the chickpeas, I just simply boil the uncooked chickpeas for about 5 minutes, and then I just leave them to soak for at least an hour is good enough. It is said that by soaking beans and legumes in advance of cooking them helps with the digestion. So if someone is not too used to eating beans and legumes, they may encounter a lot of gas. So part of this little tip helps those people with that problem. If you're not used to eating beans and you're worried about embarrassing tooting moments, well, I recommend you gradually increase your bean consumption, and should be over the course of 3 to 4 weeks you would notice a difference and a decrease in those embarrassing moments. Hopefully you'll be doing your bean eating not around a large audience. This may be easier nowadays. Here I'm cutting up the zucchini into half moons. I'm also mincing the garlic. As for the onion, I'm dicing it up. And as for the celery, I'm slicing it up after I've cut off the ends, of course. I plan to use the celery leaves as well. I thought king oyster mushrooms would be nice for the stew. So you may be wondering, what exactly is it that causes the gas and bloating that you may experience when consuming chickpeas? Well, it's something called oligosaccharides, a type of natural sugar found in chickpeas, and also phytic acid, which helps when the seed is growing. It's a protective substance that allows the seed to grow and also aids in the energy production for the seed. If you still find that you're having some problems with the gas, you may just want to get the enzymes. But like I said, the soaking overnight especially will help with the release of the oligosaccharides and the phytic acid. So this should help. Now, there was actually a study done in India where they soaked the beans at various times, and they realized that the ones that were soaking for the longest amount of time overnight, for an example, that gas and bloating was significantly reduced in those who had those problems before. We're adding our avocado oil and some of our onion and some of our garlic. Then we're going to add our king oyster mushrooms. Now we're going to add our dried thyme. Just top it up with some more oil. And we'll add some black pepper and some salt. Now we're adding a little bit of veggie stock. After taking out the mushrooms from the Dutch oven, I added veggie stock and then poured it all in with the veggie stock to reserve the residue for added flavor. Now I'm adding some oil to the fresh Dutch oven. I'm adding the onions and garlic and our celery slices. I'm adding some star anise for my personal touch. I'm adding some strained tomatoes here. And I'm adding some veggie stock, stirring it up. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of harissa. Now I'm adding in our zucchini and our chickpeas. Black pepper, salt to taste, now it's time to cover it and put it in the oven. Whilst that is in the oven, I'll get started on our dumplings. I'm just going to warm up about 1/4 cup of the veggie milk. Chickpeas, in addition to being a great source of protein, iron, calcium, and fiber, can greatly reduce your cancer risk. Your body makes butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid, once you consume the chickpeas. This specifically aids in fighting colorectal cancer. Butyrate has been shown to get rid of sick and dying cells. While the risk factor is significantly reduced for colorectal cancer, there are other cancer-fighting compounds within chickpeas such as lycopene and saponins. And in our bowl over here, we'll add 2 cups of flour. And we'll start to add our earth balance. We'll want a total of 4 tablespoons. I'm just using a fork to mix it up. If you have a pastry cutter, go ahead and use that. I'll add a teaspoon of salt. This time I'm trying out the Farm Boy vegan cheddar style shreds. This is my first time trying this brand's shreds. If you're curious how they taste, feel free to ask below and I'll be happy to answer. Now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder. In this bowl we'll get the equivalent of a packet of yeast, 1 teaspoon of raw sugar, and our warmed milk, which I've allowed to cool down sufficiently. I'm using the instant yeast, so proofing isn't required. I'm pouring in our mixture into the flour. This required some more liquid, so I'm adding in the veggie milk. So I'm kneading the dough. I'm gonna roll it out into a log. And I'm gonna cut it into 8 equal pieces. I'll get the large dumplings rolled out. And I'll cover them until they're ready to be cooked off. After our stew having been in the oven for 25 minutes, we're taking it out and I'm gonna add our king oyster mushrooms. Just plunge them down a little bit, but keep them on top. I thought these would be a great addition texture-wise. Now what we're doing is surrounding our stew in a nice circle of dumplings. And we'll put these in the oven uncovered for 25 minutes. or until they're golden brown and cooked through. Now I'm just chopping up some parsley, and I'll add the celery leaves as well. Ta-da! Here it is! We're just gonna check to see how our dumplings are. See if they're cooked through. Here we go. We're going to put the mixture of parsley and celery leaves on top.
Hi, camera.
Make sure your head is in too when you try it.
Hot.
Yeah, blow on it maybe. Or maybe let it cool. It's too dangerous.
Oh,
Don't talk with your mouth full.
delicious.
You can only see the side of your face.
Delicious.
Okay, adios. It's just me. We got our king oyster. It makes for a nice filling meal. I'm always interested to hear about your cooking experiences. Feel free to drop a line below. I'd like to know if maybe you tried out this recipe or if you put your own spin on it. I'd be interested to know. Of course, if you have any questions, type them down below and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Are you a fan of the dumplings? If so, type down below that you're a fan of dumplings. I'd like to know which type of dumplings are you a fan of. Do you like the fried kind, just the boiled kind? What kind of dumplings are you a fan of? These ones are giant dumplings, so they're also a bit more bready than like the regular dumplings that you have in soups and such. These recipes are here for inspiration, so you don't have to stick to them exactly. Feel free to experiment and give your own personal touch to these recipes. What are you drinking? Don't drink that. Drink this. Alcohol-free and same great taste. New rule, you can drink it while doing ballet. Have a great day. Excuse me, ma'am, is that alcohol you're drinking? Drinking alcohol in this park is strictly prohibited. You can, however, drink this beer. It's alcohol-free and same great taste. And I can drink it while interrogating people. Have a great day, ma'am.